You know, I have a lot I want to talk about with Karl Rove, great mind, great best-selling author. But Karl, first off, if you don't mind, on this move today, going out to Indiana, continuing this thank you tour, as he's calling it, but his intervention here that some liberals have blasted as too interfering, picking favorites, you say what?
Well, fortune favors the audacious, and he made this the carrier decision an issue during the campaign, and then talked to the carrier leadership, and they found a way to keep the jobs. And so what greater symbolism about what's to come than him going to Indianapolis, then having a big rally in Ohio, and then going to Iowa, and the message is he's already saving jobs. So symbolism matters, particularly here at the beginning. By the time he gets into the presidency, results will matter more, and 1,000 is a nice symbol, but rising prosperity, broadening prosperity, increasing paychecks, that's going to be the real test.
All right. Also, there were some concessions and incentives built into this to keep carrier in Indiana, largely done through Indiana. But you wrote an interesting column today in the Wall Street Journal talking about some of the mixed messages we would get out of Donald Trump, even from fellow Republicans, referring to his stimulus plan, a public works plan, infrastructure plan, more to the point, that congressional Republicans, quoting here, will feel hinky about the trillion-dollar price tag, having spent years decrying the cost and feeble results of President Obama's $830 billion stimulus. Especially true given the vote coming next March on raising the debt ceiling. I thought about that and how he has to spin that. He says, I'm going to pay for that by getting money back here that's held offshore. Does he have to do that quickly before he commits this money, or what?
Well, they're going to have to, he said during the campaign it was going to be deficit neutral, which means if he wants $1 trillion worth of spending on infrastructure, he's going to have to find places to either cut elsewhere or generate revenue. And as I put in my piece, you know, there are ways to fund some of this infrastructure by having a smaller tax rate on repatriated foreign earnings as you move to hopefully a territorial system where we no longer tax the foreign profits of U.S. companies twice. But the leaders of the House Ways and Means Committee have already signaled they want to use those repatriated tax earnings to help pay for lower corporate tax rates. So the
right.
point of my article was to say you got to take into account this isn't going to be easy, and you need to work with the Republicans in Congress and realize that you can't say things like we're going to rebuild every shipyard and every iron plant, as one of the president's designates advisors said, president-elected advisors said, because, you know, Republicans are sitting up there on the Hill saying we've been critical of Solyndra. Do we really want to rebuild? And, you know, anybody want to have their iron plant or their shipyard rebuilt? We'll be happy to do it. That's going to find you know, a rough sledding in the particularly among House Republicans.